My name's Scott Clayton. I'm one of the co-founders of Island Padel down at St Clements. Padel is basically, people describe it as kind of a mix between tennis and squash, but the reality is it's padel. It's in its own right. I think that it's a very tactical game, but one of the great things about padel is it's a very social game. It's always doubles, so you're always playing with a partner. The court is, as you can see, is very close and small, so interaction with your opponents is very good, which makes it a lot more fun, I think. And I think also just in terms of like the bats, because they're much smaller, it's much easier to play. So we've had a lot of people coming from tennis, badminton, squash, table tennis, etc., but we've also had a lot of people that have come that have never been able to play racket sports in their lives and picked this up relatively quickly, which I think is one of the amazing things about it. Well, I mean, the two courts were here. They've been here for about 7 years with St Clements here. I'd seen the growth. So my background's in tennis. I'd seen the growth traveling with tennis in Spain and places like that. And then the Lawn Tennis Association took padel on as a sport and as part of being the governing body. So I could see that they were obviously thinking it was going to potentially grow in the UK as well. So, I thought with my other co-founder here that, it was an opportunity really for us to bring it to kind of like, to get it going in Jersey. I think, as I said, 2 courts were here. There was a really successful summer league program during the pandemic because people couldn't play sports indoors. Tom Price did an amazing job with that, and Tom's very much part of our team. But I think that really now it was like the courts were being used so much that we couldn't grow the sport in the way we wanted to grow it. They were being like 95% utilized. So for things like kids programs and getting more people involved with padel, it was just impossible because the other 250 players that we had playing couldn't get a court at the best of times. So then we couldn't then take that up to 750, 1,000. So building the courts was really kind of the thought process about that, is just having the scope then to deal with the demand. Yeah, well, I mean, the facility only fully got handed over to us from the builders last Saturday. So, the 5 courts have been operational for a bit, but we haven't really started going yet. We've started our schools program, which we're really excited about. We've got 7 schools on board. They get a completely free school program with padel, 6 weeks. We also have a corporate league starting, which has started already, and that's been really successful. Our normal seasonal league program continues to grow, as well as beginner, intermediate group coaching sessions for adults. So I think what's really important, and why Island Padel was set up and the ethos of Island Padel is it's very community driven. As I said, my background's in tennis, and tied with tennis quite often is a lot of elitism and entitlement. And what I wanted from this facility was to have a world-class £1 million facility that anyone of any economic standing on the island could access. So we did a lot of due diligence around pricing of courts. We're one of the cheapest in the whole of Great Britain, and we're one of the best facilities. So for me, that was really important, and that's why we've also gone out to the schools. We want to get kids massively involved. Padel is a very family-orientated game, and that's exactly what we want down here. I think it's amazing. I mean, from myself, from a personal perspective, what's been fantastic is basically meeting a lot of new people that I would never have met had I just stayed in like my tennis circle, you know. And I think that's actually what I've really enjoyed the most. I think the community that we've got down here playing paddle, the vibrancy is huge. I think that the big thing is, again, that everyone is welcome. You know, anyone that comes through that gate is made to feel welcome straight away. And I think that's a big thing. And then we get them on court, we introduce them to the game, and then, as I say, you know, you're not tied in with anything with a membership, so then it's up to you how much you want to play, you know. But what we're seeing is that a lot of people are coming back to play, which is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, good. Look, I think that we played Guernsey last October, and it didn't go too well. There's no two ways about that. But I think Guernsey have obviously had their indoor facility, 3 courts, for about 3 years now. So I think naturally they had a head start on a lot of us. They came here 3 weeks ago. We didn't quite get it done. But what was exciting is there was massive improvement. And I think that for me personally now, the next time we play them is going to be here in October. And I think that's going to be very interesting. I think already our strength and depth has increased significantly. I think the level of every single player that competes for that has gone up. So I think it's going to be very interesting in October when they come here, yeah. Yeah, so Island Paddle Fest has been a long time in the planning and the making. I think for us, we were very fortunate, and we are very fortunate that we're tied in with a chap called Mario Andrini. He's a former junior world #1, former professional paddle player, and he owns the largest online paddle platform in the world, Hello Paddle. And he is love the facility. He's loved what we're doing, which is fantastic. And he's coming with three of his mates, 3 other professional players. They're going to play an exhibition. What we've got is we've got an internal tournament tied to that over the weekend. So it's going to start Friday night and it's going to go right through the weekend. On the Saturday, we've got from 3 till 5. We have this Saturday the 18th. We've got 3 till 5. All 5 courts are going to be completely open, free to come and use, people to try, families to come down. Coaches are going to be on hand. It's going to be very much a family-orientated thing. There's going to be a bar here. There's going to be food. And then on the Saturday evening between 5 and 7, there's going to be a live coaching clinic with Maori. We'll have him mic'd up and teaching people about the shots and about paddle. And then from 6 to 7, there's going to be an exhibition match between the 4 of them, which I think is going to be fantastic for everyone to see the level of how this game can be played. And then from 7, we're going to do a little bit where the better local players can test themselves against the professionals. So I think that'll be really exciting as well. So I think we're really looking forward to it. As you can tell probably from the bags under my eyes, and the other founder, he's got some bags under his as well. It's been quite a lot of planning, but hopefully if the airline goes from Spain, then we'll be in a good place to deliver an amazing weekend. Yeah, I mean, like, I'd love to see as many people here as possible. I think, as I said, this sport is very accessible. This facility is very accessible. And I think for me, the main thing that we want to showcase is paddle and island paddle and what we're about. And I think if people come down here, there's no doubt in my mind that they'll have a great time, whether that's by themselves, whether that's with a partner, whether that's with family, whether that's with kids, whatever it may be. They'll come down and they'll be welcomed and they'll have a great time. So I'd love to see as many people down here as possible. And yeah, I think it'll be a fantastic weekend. Good question. I think I want to establish Island Paddle as one of, if not the leading facility in Great Britain. Now, I think that, again, Padel is moving at an exponential rate. There's no two ways about it in the UK as well. So there will be facilities that, at the moment, this is one of the larger facilities in the UK. There will be facilities that will grow and will get bigger than this. But there's a lot of other things that make a facility good. Good coaching, good teams, good programs, making everyone feel welcome. Sport is social. I want it to be a social place down here. I want people to feel like they can come down here even if they're not playing paddle. They come and watch their friends, they have a drink, and I think really that's what it is. Is Island Paddle, as I said, was set up on the premise of that we would be a very accessible facility, and it's an accessible sport. So I think Jersey has always had an issue, in my opinion, with kind of very good sports facilities, and this isn't a Jersey thing. I think this is a worldwide thing, actually. Very good sports facilities not always being accessible. So we, as I said, have got an amazing sports facility here that is accessible, and I think for us longer term, if we can obviously keep this kind of vibe and very much welcoming people and a very community driven aspect of Island Paddle, then we would have done a good job. I think there's no kind of question about like mental and physical health having increased significantly on the island and worldwide during the pandemic and everything like that. And I personally think that sport is a way of curing that. Not completely, but it might help put a dent in it. So as long as we're here to provide a fun social sport to the island, then I hope that we can do our bit as Island Paddle to put a dent in those numbers. Wow, good question. Fun, social, and tactical.